Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are still working on Love's Labour's Lost, and we are still in Act 4, which in the folio is just Act 4, but in other versions we've made it to like Act 4, Scene 2, and we've been hanging out with Nathaniel and Holofernes and Dull. So we have a priest, a constable, and a school teacher, and they've been speaking very raunchily about the princess hunting deer, and they've been turning all of it into sexual innuendo. And as they're joking along and having a high old time making dick jokes, in come Jaconetta and Costard, and Jaconetta has been looking for the school teacher because she needs him to read this letter that she has received, dun dun dun, out loud to her because she can't read. So she hands over the letter, and Nathaniel gets to read it, though this is one of those weird, like in the folio, this first line attributed to Nathaniel is Nathaniel's, but in other versions they give it to Holofernes or whatever. So anyway, basically this is the reading of the letter that Jaconetta is in possession of, and Nathaniel says, "Let me hear a staff, a stanza, a verse, lege domine." If love make me forsworn, how shall I swear to love? Ah, never faith could hold, if not to beauty vowed. Though to myself forsworn, to thee I'll faithful prove. Those thoughts to me were oaks, to thee like osiers bowed. Study his bias leaves, and makes his book thine eyes, where all those pleasures live that art would comprehend. If knowledge be the mark, to know thee shall suffice. Well learned is that tongue that well can thee commend. All ignorant that soul that sees thee without wonder, which is to me some praise, that I thy parts admire. Thy eye love's lightning bears, thy voice his dreadful thunder, which not to anger bent is music and sweet fire. Celestial as thou art, O pardon love this wrong, that sings heaven's praise with such an earthly tongue. So it's much lovelier, I think, than Don Armado's than Don Adriano de Armado, than his letter. Anyway, so this is the letter that Barone had written to Rosalind, and they figure that out in a minute. I believe it's Holofernes grabs it and looks at it and is like, "Wait a second, this supposedly came to you via Costard from Barone, but it says on the outside that it's actually for Rosalind, and it's signed Barone, so the king really should know about this if one of his guys has fallen in love with a lady, so go take this letter to the king." So Jaconetta and Costard go to take the letter to the king. But what he it's just a lovely letter of flattery, saying he will always be true to her, and that she's beautiful, and he manages a really sort of weird backhanded compliment in there where he's like, only stupid people can't see how great you are, which means I must be pretty great because I can see that you're awesome, that kind of a thing. It's cheesy and sweet, but it's, I think, better written than Armado's letter, which just sort of rambles and goes all over the place and has all of those weird, like, and what, and when, and why, Armado speak. So Jaconetta and Costard leave to take this letter off to the king, and then Holofernes invites Nathaniel and Dull over for dinner so they can continue their discussion of poetry and probably deer and penises, because they're the clowns of the play. And that's the end of what a lot of versions call Act 4, Scene 2, so that's where we're going to stop for today, and we will continue with Act 4, Scene 3 tomorrow. I will see you then for that.